Hi guys, welcome to another episode of Nick Tan Chats. My name is Nick Tan, and on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about something called the Anchor Tarot, released by Dual Reality. So hi again guys, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for showing up, thanks for tuning in, and thanks for spending some time with me today. So on today's episode, I'll be chatting with you guys about something called the Anchor Tarot. Okay, so this is something that I picked up during my lecture tour over in China, where I got to know a lot of people, and amongst those that I got to know were the guys from this company called Dual Reality. Okay, and this is something that they've designed, and they've put it out together with UltraMANTIC. All right, so it's another company, so this is kind of like a joint release. So what is the Anchor Tarot? Well, the Anchor Tarot is a full deck of tarot cards, but they are marked. So I'm going to talk to you guys today about what I think about this, and also I've gotten permission to actually share one of the marking systems as well, all right, on screen. So I'll be discussing that with you a little later on during the video. So marked tarot decks aren't new, right? I think they've been around for quite a while. Some people have done work with them. Ben Seidman, for example, with his Oracle system, and other marking systems were available as well. I picked up something a couple of years ago from Neil Tobin. I think it's his own system of marking up your own deck of tarot cards, and I was using that for a little while. And I think, for the purists, right, those of us who use tarot and perform with them quite often, marking a deck of tarot cards would seem slightly unnecessary, because it starts bordering into the very magic-y kind of an area, right, in which, tarot cards are not really used for at all, right? I mean, I think a tarot user's nightmare would be to see someone taking the Five of Cups, sticking it into the center of the packet and causing it to rise to the top, right? So it's not used for magic, so marking up a deck might seem as though it's taking that kind of a direction, but I do think for mystery performers, a marked deck of tarot, if used well, right, if used in moderation, can enhance, the performance, of a routine or a demonstration using, tarot. Alright, but let's get into what you get with the Anchor Tarot package. Okay, it comes to you in this box. Okay, really lovely looking box, hard shell box, and it's not a tuck case. Okay, it is actually, one of these kinds of boxes, alright, with a lid. And inside, you will get a deck. Along with the deck, you'll get links to the instructional videos. Now, the instructional videos, first of all, they're done in Mandarin, but there are English subtitles. Now, the subtitles aren't perfect, but they are good enough for you to understand what's going on, and you should have no problems at all learning the material. So on the tutorial video, there will be performances, live performances of some of the routines that are suggested along with the Anchor Tarot. There are prediction effects, open prediction style kind of effects using the tarot. You will also see how it's possible to use the deck along with blindfold work. And of course, during the performance of these routines, readings are given throughout. And there are also kind of like direct divination kind of effects as well. So there will be material on this project to get you started, to give you an idea about how to go about using this marked deck of cards. Alright, so let's talk about the physical props themselves, alright, what you receive, and I'll tell you about the quality of the cards as well. So the deck comes to you complete, alright, it's 78 cards, the full deck of tarot. Along with the deck, you will also get two gaffs, okay, one is a DB, okay, a DB, and also one which is a DF, okay, and these are used in the routines that are taught on the project, okay, so you can use your own applications, but they are there for you if you do need them. And then we come to the cards themselves, okay, so these are what the cards look like. These are the standard kind of rider weight designs, the major arcana as well as the minor arcana. The cards handle really well, they spread really well as well, just like this, and the finish isn't like flat, as with some of the tarot cards out there. They have a bit of like texture to them, almost like playing cards, so they will kind of slide over each other really, really well. Okay, so they handle really well. printed on good cardstock as well. You know, so these cards are going to last you a pretty long time, I think. They are really, really high quality, and they feel really, really nice to handle in the hands. Alright, so let's talk about the markings, okay, on this deck of cards, because these are actually, you know, readers, okay. You can use the bags to perform some of these effects, right, because they are marked in several ways. Okay, I won't be explaining all of them. There are ways for you to see whether the card is reversed or not, okay, during your readings. But I'm going to talk about the main reading system, okay, which is something that you can actually see from a distance. And I think it's advertised that you can see the marks up to like 3 meters, away, right? But I don't perform for people that far, you know. So if I do tarot, it's just like maybe at the most, right? Someone sat across me at a table. Okay, so I'll talk about those marks right now. Okay, first of all, I'll just show you the back design of the deck. Okay, that's what it looks like. Okay, just center that for you over there, and they all look pretty much the same, but of course they are marked. Okay, now I'm surprisingly at this point, the marks do show up for some reason better on camera. You know, I never realized this, you know, but in just looking at the cards this way on the table, you know, at a glance it just looks really well disguised, but for some reason I don't know, maybe it's because I know what to look for, but the marks do show up quite well on camera, and I think as I spread through them you can already see the marks. Okay, so I'll just explain using one of these cards. This is the Empress, right? The Empress, the nurturing card, right? So as you can tell, the main mark, okay, that you're going to spot, right, you know, they are in the 4 corners. Okay, that's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And over here, you can see the 03, right? The 03. That number, obviously, is the number of the Empress. Okay, card number 3 in the Major Arcana. So if you are familiar with the numerical values of the Major Arcana, this is not a problem for you at all, right? You just have to spot the numbers. Okay, so for example, this is card number 21, which is the World. Okay, the World, and you know, if you were to see this, right, you see number 6 over there, okay, and you will immediately know that this is the Lovers card, right? So because they are so large, you know, you can read them from a distance, right? So I'm not sure if this kind of simulates distance for you, but well, that is a number 7, as you can tell. Okay, so someone at this kind of a distance from you, you can tell the number from there, and you will know that number 7 is the Chariot. All right, so if you're not familiar with the numerical values of the Major Arcana, learn them. It's not that difficult, but there is another marking, and well, this mark is slightly, well, for me at least, right, older eyes. You know, I'm almost 50, so older eyes makes it a little bit difficult for me to spot these markings. They are kind of symbolic markings to kind of tell you what these cards are, okay? But these have to be seen close up. Okay, I won't like show them to you, but for example, this one is card number 1, okay, the Magician. Now, if you don't know that number 1 is the Magician, there is another mark that you can spot, which is like kind of like a wizard's hat, okay, and that cues you that it's the Magician. Okay, so each of these cards in the Major Arcana have got a corresponding kind of a symbol to trigger in your mind what the card is. Okay, this is just used in case you don't know the numerical values of the Major Arcana. So likewise for the minors, these are just as clear. Okay, you can tell the same markings, the same marking system rather, used in the corners. This is the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, so the pentacles look like this. All right, the symbol of it looks like a star almost. All right, and that's the Queen. I'll bring up another pentacle for you. All right, this is the King of Pentacles, right? The King of Pentacles, you can see the K over there, and I'll just do one more pentacle for you. This one, yeah, there we go. That is the Nine of Pentacles, right? You can see that. So those are the pentacles, okay, that kind of a star-looking symbol. Let's talk about the swords at this point. Okay, this is the King of Swords. You can see the K there and the kind of symbolic, kind of a sword-like symbol. Okay, over there, that's the King of Swords. I'll just bring up another sword for you. And you can tell that this one is the Seven of Swords. Okay, so you know, those are what the swords look like. So for the cups, well, it kind of looks like a cup, right? You'll see that it looks like a kind of a chalice, that kind of a thing. Now the P represents the page, all right, the Page of Cups. I'll just bring up another cup for you. This one would be the Two, right? The Two of Cups. Okay, over there. We'll do the wands at this point, okay? So let's talk about the wands. This is the Two of Wands. So the wand symbol looks like that. It looks like a stick with like a, you know, some little thing at the top, I suppose. So that's a Two of Wands. I'll give you another wand card over here, just so you can try this out for yourself. That is the Queen of Wands. Okay, so there we go. So as you can tell, the markings are really clear, you know, really easy to spot as well. You know, and if I were to hold this up for you, that is a, you know, there's an X over there, the swords, the Ten of Swords, right? So again, right, already just by going through the deck a couple of times with you, I'm sure most of you can already kind of get the hang of looking at that particular marking, okay, over there in the corners, right? And again, for some reason, I don't know, they're showing up really well on camera, but if you are just spreading them onto the table this way, you know, they kind of blend in, I suppose. So it's not as obvious as when you're doing it on camera, for some reason. Again, I don't know why. Now, as large as these markings are, and you know, they're advertised that you can see them from up to like 3 meters away, right? I never performed that far, right? So I currently use this deck at the bar show that I perform in, right? I perform at a magic bar here in Singapore weekly. As large as these marks are and as clear as they are, my experience at least is that under low lighting conditions, it can be a little bit challenging. Okay, maybe it's just my eyes, but I found that, you know, with a bit of, you know, lower dimly lit kind of an environment, getting the marks, I need a second more to kind of ascertain what it is. Okay, now thankfully the routine that I perform with tarot, it's a personal routine of mine. It's a confabulation style routine, reading based routine using tarot deck. Thankfully my routine doesn't require marks, you know, so that's perfectly fine, you know, but I've tried out the marks in a dimly lit environment, and for me, I found that I do need to kind of take a second, all right, in order for me to kind of make sure that I've kind of clocked the mark. But yeah, you know, if you don't need the marks, using the deck as is, you know, just to do readings and stuff is fine as well. And I think it's a lovely looking deck of tarot cards, right? It's in the Rider-Waite style, but the back designs are really nice, you know, still really retaining the really mystical and yet kind of modern kind of a look. So yeah, that is the Anchor Tarot deck. Alright, but all in, you know, I think this is a great deck of cards to have, a really great tool for the mystery performer. You know, they feel great, they look great as well, you know, the faces really in the classic Rider-Waite design. The back design, you know, marks are really easy to read. So if you are on the lookout and are shopping for a deck of tarot cards, a marked deck, I can only highly recommend the Anchor Tarot. So currently at this point, the guys over at Dual Reality and UltraMANTIC have given me a promo code. Okay, so if you are interested to pick up the deck for yourselves, there is a link in the description box down below. And please use the promo code, all in caps, NICTAN, okay, when you make your purchase of the Anchor Tarot deck. And I believe you will get a small discount off your purchase. Alright, but that's all for today's episode, guys. I do hope you enjoyed it and got something out of it as well. Till the next episode, do stay safe, take care of yourselves, have fun with your magic and your mentalism, and I will see you on the next episode of Nick Tan Chats.